Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our podcast.
Today we're covering the very underrated live-action film Love, Simon, which was also based on a book.
Yes, and this movie follows Simon, a boy who gets along with everyone at school. However, his one secret is that no one knows that he's gay. And then one day, he gets a message from someone called Blue, who's also secretly gay. So Simon attempts to find this kindred spirit at school, and eventually becomes brave enough to let people know who he really is.
Yes. And before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification when they release a future podcast and all the past videos.
Yes, and I do remember when this movie originally was advertised that it was going to be in the theaters. I don't know what it was about it. It just looked like it was really going to be a good movie. It just looked like it was really going to be entertaining and fun, and one of those coming of age type movies that you enjoy regardless of whom you are and what age you are. And unfortunately, we didn't see it in the theater. We ended up seeing it when it was actually available on demand to watch.
Yes, years later.
And I'm really glad that I kept saying to Rascal, I want to see this movie. I really want to see this movie. And then finally she says, guess what?
It's
Love
there.
Simon's on. And we watched it, and it's definitely a movie. If you haven't seen it, you really got to see it. It's really, really good.
Yes. And we were kind of surprised that the movie did not pick up a lot of traction at the time, because there's a lot of times when more representation is being put into movies and TV shows. So they thought, oh, Love, Simon's just going to be one of them to go up on the top tier. But then when the movie came out, it kind of went out quietly. And it wasn't like a big, heavily advertised movie. It was adequate advertisement. And then we didn't hear anybody talk about it. There were no reviews of it or anything. So when we saw it on demand and we finished it, we were kind of like, this is a really well done movie. And it's open for everybody who wants to see it, regardless of your orientation. So we kind of wonder, why was this film not talked about more, promoted more at all? It's just like, it was like kind of swept under the rug after a little bit after its release.
Mm-hmm. And it reminds me a lot, it's like in live action Yuri on Ice. And what I mean by that is, when you watch it, it's fun, and you see the different lives of different characters, and you see them interacting, and it's just a lot of fun, and it's bright. That's the word I'm looking for. It's really a bright, fun movie.
Yeah.
In terms that the entire movie, it doesn't get dark. It doesn't go down a path where you're like, oh no, there's nothing in it that is life-threatening.
No.
But it is life-changing for the main character.
Yes.
And again, like you said, it's just really well done. We haven't read the book. As we mentioned, it's based on a book. But we have no way of knowing if it's stuck to the source material or if they decide to become creative and do something else.
Yeah.
But regardless of whether it is or not even having read the book, just seeing this movie on its own merits, this is just a great movie.
Yes. And one of the best highlights of it is that, the movie always presents it's just telling you a story. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of movies now kind of want to enter on, it has a target audience, and it seems like they only want a target audience to feel comfortable. Everyone else, they really don't seem to matter in terms of writing it. But for here, it was open for everybody. It didn't matter if they were gay or straight or anything. So for here, a lot of the characters are pretty fleshed out, and this is over a course of weeks and months and things. You found out more about Simon, how he found out he was gay, how his interactions with the other kids at school, his friends.
And then the whole time you're supposed to be guessing or trying to figure out who Blue is,
right?
Which was really fun.
Right.
You were looking at clues and like, is it him? No, it can't be him. And it was
right.
fun.
Right. It was like a mystery game.
Yes.
And the only thing I kind of figured out, because I ended up doing that anyway.
I was going to tell him, of course, Rascal figured it out, but of course she told you before I could tell you, of course she figured it out.
Yeah. I won't reveal, of course, we won't reveal who Blue is.
Right.
But, like, you may figure it out before the end of the film, depending on how well you know the actors in the film itself.
And don't read any reviews so it's not revealed to you, because part of the fun is trying to figure out who Blue is. And as Rascal said, seeing this relationship develop between them, Simon doesn't know who he is. Of course, Blue knows who he is.
Yeah.
And then just seeing how the relationship develops and how Simon becomes more confident. And the thing is, he's really this happy, fun character who seems well-rounded and so forth. But again, people don't know that he's gay. And then you get to see him work through everything. You get to see him become even more confident and more self-assured, and he starts stepping out and doing things that he normally wouldn't do. And I also like that his parents are parents that didn't want to disown him or anything. I really, really love that. I love that his parents were really supportive of it.
Right. And another thing we also found out is that eventually the movie, I guess, got a bit of a cult following later. Because at the time we had a Hulu streaming service, we found out that it actually garnered a spin-off series set in the same universe called Love, I think it was called Love, Peter, where it was pretty much the same setup, but it was, this time it was stranded out as a series, and this guy goes to Simon for help. So it's a whole different game, especially of how the media is now. Like, how does he do this, but different from Simon, and he goes to him for help because the whole thing is pretty much changed from the time that movie was out.
Now, we haven't seen it. We no longer have Hulu. We had Hulu, and then we decided we didn't want Hulu anymore. So at this point, there's no chance of us watching it unless it turns up on YouTube or in some other streaming service.
Right. However, we do.
But if you have seen it, let us know what you think of it in the comments.
Right. And if we do end up seeing it somewhere else, then we probably will cover it too on here as well.
Especially if this is entertaining and informative and fun as this movie is. Yeah. And I know I keep using that word fun because it is.
And
I love fun. I love finding my joy. I love seeing others find their joy. I love seeing others smile. And I really love movies that are bright and fun. I do have, other types of genres that I do like, as you know, but a really fun, bright movie that ends up being joyful and the main character ends up with a happy ending.
Yes.
I love those movies.
Yes.
And this is that type of movie.
Yes. And I know we said this a couple times already, but really, as you said, comparing it to Yuri on Ice is probably the best comparison. I know they're two different types of shows, one about ice skating and something else, but the theme in there and that the characters,
and the brightness of
it's brightness, it's inviting for everybody who wants to see, because like they said, it's not written differently from anything. It's just like anything else, and it's just a really fun, really enjoyable movie that you wouldn't even mind rewatching. Even when you find out who Blue is, you don't even mind rewatching it again, just to see the journey from beginning to end. And you're gonna get that happy ending, and it's just, and getting attached to all these characters and things. It's all just really fun, just like we got to attach with Yuri on Ice.
And most of all, Simon is just absolutely lovable.
Yes.
You just
I love
adore
Simon.
him. You love him, you adore him, and you want his happy ending. So if you've seen Love, Simon, let us know what you think in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Did you think it was great? If you happen to have read the book it's based on, let us know what you think in the comments as well. If you haven't, I don't know if it's available for sale. I don't know what it's streaming on. I don't even recall what studio made this movie. But find a way to watch it if you haven't, because it's absolutely worth it. And it's perfect for the month of February. Watch it. It's just an adorable, bright, and wonderful movie.
Yes. And be sure to like, subscribe, and click notification bell to get updates on future podcasts and Rom-Com videos.
Absolutely.
So, thank you so much for watching Rom-Com Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.